Well, joining us now to talk about the end of Title 42 is the mayor of Yuma, Douglas Nichols. Mayor Nichols, thank you so much for your time, especially today on the cusp of Title 42 expiring. We just heard Alex talking about concerns surrounding Yuma's hospital, how resources are being stretched thin. What other services may be impacted over the coming days and weeks? And then what measures are you taking to try and alleviate some of that strain?
So right now we have a nonprofit that helps assist the migrants to find their way to their ultimate destinations. Usually that's through airports and other communities. None of them are really looking to stay here. So it's really more of a transit issues, transportation, and then that interim time when they are in town. And so we're looking for that relief on the transportation, trying to set up the ability to expand what the Regional Center for Border Health is currently doing. That would be helpful with increased National Guard presence, DPS presence, those kind of things. Those are where we're focused right now. Unfortunately, it sounds like within the next couple of days we'll have releases of migrants onto the streets, not through our nonprofits, and that'll potentially end up with a whole host of other issues that we'll have to deal with.
Well, Mayor, I want to talk to you about that because obviously that's the focus. But I also want to focus on what Alex just told us, $26 million in an unpaid bill. Who ultimately is going to be responsible for paying that bill?
Well, I mean, we all know that it's the federal government that's responsible to pay the bill. At this point, they have not been able to obtain that reimbursement. So like any business, the hospital will end up eating that on the bottom line, which then usually gets spread out to the other people that use the facilities there at the hospital. I've not heard that directly from the hospital, but just being a business person myself, that's generally how those things work.
Mayor Nichols, you're originally from Yuma. You've been mayor now for 8 years. So you've certainly spent your life there. You know what it's like there living in a border town. But how does this compare to previous migrant surges? Have you seen anything like this before and anything like what is expected?
No, this is totally uncharted territory. When we've had surges before, we had one in 19. We had about a 3 to 5 month surge. It was discreet. The government came in and they made policy changes that had some very dramatic changes to the flow, the ability for and the desire for people to come through the border. You know, years before that, it's always been these more discrete time periods, never this duration. And obviously, these numbers are at least twice of what we've experienced in a previous peak in the early 2000s. So these numbers are beyond any sort of capacity anyone has ever planned for.
Absolutely. And, you know, there's some criticism saying, you know, why are we covering this so much? These are people who are fleeing tough situations. But the thing is, we just don't know what to expect, especially since there's been such a huge surge already. So, Mayor, what do you expect to see happen at midnight tonight? Do you have any indication of what it will be like?
Well, we've actually started to see the surge about 2 to 3 weeks ago. We were at about 300 people crossing in the Yuma sector each day. It quickly doubled within 2 weeks, and now we're at over 1,000 each day right now, and that's with Title 42 still in place. Most of those people coming through are not people from Mexico. They're coming from other countries. So because of Title 42 applying to people from Mexico, they have not been coming through. When that gets lifted, that's when you're going to start seeing the people that have waited in Mexico coming forward. So I really don't know what the numbers are going to be. I've been guessing about 1,500 the next couple of days, but that's exactly what it is as a guess.
Right. So Mayor, what's the main focus for Yuma as you head into the next few days, the next few weeks, months? Is it housing? Is it food? Is it medical care? Is it beefing up security? Where do you kind of focus at first?
It's really transportation. That's the key. No one wants to stay here. And so if we can facilitate their movement onto their ultimate destination, that benefits our community the best and ultimately the migrants so that they don't get lost in some sort of limbo or in a community they don't know, they do not have any resources in. So that's what we're really focusing on is how to get people to move through and not stop.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.